So I guess like right now, I guess I'm just trying to trim the fat, I guess, and just like, I don't know, yeah, to try and strike that perfect little middle ground, you know?
Mm.
I'm happy with my videos. I think that they turn out well, and I'm proud of them. And I don't think there's. I mean, I'm not to say that I can't keep improving, but like, I don't think that my quality of the videos is necessarily the problem right now.
No.
Um, I mean, like the real problem is that YouTube is a wild west kind of place where you just can never guarantee if your video is going to pop off enough.
Mm.
Some of the most low effort shitty videos that I've ever made have gotten tons of views, and some of the highest effort videos I've ever made have gotten almost none. So I don't freaking know. But it's you might just strike gold. You just keep experimenting, keep trying, just keep pumping stuff out.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say, if I was to summarize, like, I wouldn't say I'm in a slump or anything like that, but I am interested in experimenting and filling up the gaps, and perhaps just seeing where different paths lead me. One of my big goals, I suppose, is I do want to like slowly move away from TF2 stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's no doubt that like right now TF2 interest is pretty much at an all-time low. And that's fine. I don't really mind, because like I'm I'm not tied to it.
No.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to be not tied to it. The TF2 stuff doesn't bother me all that much. Yeah, it's probably inevitably just gonna die, probably sooner rather than later. But I'm just gonna keep making videos. I'm not being negative. I'm just being realistic. I'm just making videos, and I guess my hope is like maybe there'll be one last big TF2 update. Right, I'll make some videos on it. People will see them and like them, and then they'll see that I make other content other than TF2. They'll subscribe for that. Come for the TF2, stay for the rest of the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about building up a library, I guess, of videos and things for people to enjoy.
Have you had that sort of change in your TF2 videos, the way you make them?
Not that exact change,
No.
but I don't know. I kind of go back and forth in terms of what I want to produce for it. I wouldn't say that I'm in a spot right now with my videos that I'm especially content with, I would say. I'm kind of going through a little experimental phase right now. I'm currently working on some videos that are pretty different to my other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Trying to find a new thing, a new groove.
I'm just curious as to how I'll feel about a different type of this like idea that I've got a brewing, as they say. I'm just
Is it like,
gonna give it a go.
The review series thing?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. But yeah. Nah, it's alright. Yeah, I mean, I just have a vision in my mind. I watch, like, typically the way I get inspired for videos is by watching a lot of other people's videos and going, I can do that. But it's a little bit like that. This series is kind of just spawned through both that and also, like, I have a very strong desire to talk about particular things, like video games, for instance, as a random example.
Well, that's like, that's like with...
I'm just thinking of a way to put it out there, and it's experimental, and it's possible that like the first attempt might not hit and might not work for me either. But I think a better example of like me experimenting would be like the movie review video that I made for Miss Peregrine's. That was interesting because because with every video you kind of have a goal, a thesis, if you will, as to what you want to get accomplished. And that video failed in every single regard for my thesis. Nothing to do with the views or anything. I can't even remember if it did well. Probably didn't, but like everything that I all of my goals for that video in terms of creating it, they just didn't work out, and I was like, well, I'm not doing this again. I had a lot of like pitches, so to speak, of like, this is what I want it to look like, and it just didn't end up that way. So yeah, it's possible that this video will be the same song and dance, but we'll see. I like experimenting, and I like having fun, and I like making videos. I just like making a video that is fun for me.
Yeah.
I suppose that's how I make my vids. I don't know. I currently don't really have any kind of strong feeling about my videos.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I'm kind of losing a little bit of my audience, maybe a little bit of my edge. You know, I think that might just mainly be due to the failure of the Halloween video, because it's reasonable to assume that the TF2 update histories are fairly good bets, for success, because they've all pretty well done well, except for, I suppose, the sniper one, which is still done well, but comparatively to the spy, it's like, Jesus Christ. Do people even realize it's a two-parter? I don't think so. Regardless.
That's what I was thinking of looking at it.
So I'll say that like I'm not. There is definitely a little bit of like, oh man, that was kind of my ace in the hole. But then at the same time, I kind of excuse it by going, well, it's not really a major update, and I get that it's not everyone give a shit about it. The title doesn't exactly have like the same sting as a named character or something like that. Not to really like take it apart and figure out what the pieces are and blame it on the small elements or anything like that. But so I will say that kind of did affect my overall view, and maybe it's making me feel a little bit like, I want to make some changes. I guess there's always that little feeling that, and I think most YouTubers get it, of that feeling of like wanting to experiment and maybe finding gold, if that makes sense. Not just gold as in what will do well, but it's also something that might reach a happy middle ground for content that you find enjoyable to make.
Just
Not to say that I don't enjoy making my TF2 videos, but I will definitely say that my videos, the number one thing that I really don't like is the amount of time they take. And then one of the kind of pitches for this review video is to dramatically reduce the amount of time it'll take to create, or at least reduce the amount of editing.